name is Catherine. Today I'm going to show you how to make artichoke dip. And I want to start by saying this dip is designed on purpose to be the best of both worlds when it comes to artichoke dip. I have made artichoke dips in the past that are just kind of mixed by hand, but they don't taste that great. And then I've made artichoke dips that are like cooked and very involved. They taste amazing, but they just take way too long. I've taken the elements of both and combined them into this dip. There's no cooking involved, but you still get all the flavor. It's fantastic. Okay, this is made in the bowl of a KitchenAid mixer. If you don't have one, you can stir this together by hand. But the most important part, I have 2 8-ounce containers of cream cheese. The cream cheese needs to be really soft. If it's even a little bit cold, it's not gonna mix in with the other ingredients, and we kind of need it to. So I'm starting with 16 ounces of cream cheese, which is 2 8-ounce bricks, which is typically how it's sold at the grocery store. I just let it sit out until it was really warm. It's really hot here right now, so it didn't take very long. But those just go directly into the bowl. Now, I've also kind of pre-measured everything just to make this as swift as possible. But what I have here is a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. Make sure you're using real mayonnaise, not something like light mayonnaise, or even worse, Miracle Whip. Like Hellmann's mayonnaise is my go-to. And then we're adding 1/3 cup of sour cream. And I know that measuring all this is half the work of cooking, but I really just wanted to show you the method of mixing it together. And then, so obviously in this bowl, that's a lot of rich, creamy dairy things. The best way to balance that is with some acid. So I'm gonna juice a lemon into here, yielding, I mean, we're going for like a tablespoon of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1 to 2. This is kind of a bigger lemon. I bet we get more. Don't overthink the lemon juice. Just squeeze a lemon in there. And then we're also going to add, I have 1 clove of garlic that I've roughly chopped up. This will give it a nice punch of flavor. And then we're also going to add 2 dashes or more to your desired level of heat, but I'm gonna use Tabasco because I'm gonna be serving this to my family. I know that we're kind of a 2-dash family before someone starts to complain. If I were making this for some adults, I might really go bonkers with the Tabasco. I think this dip can definitely hold some heat, so if you like spicy things, add more Tabasco. And then, last but not least, in step 1, we're gonna add a cup of grated Parmesan cheese. Now, this is going to serve as the salt for this whole dip. There's no added salt in this artichoke dip. So it's really important that you use a good, high quality Parmesan. This is not the time to use the powdered stuff. Spring for the good stuff. Okay, so we have all those ingredients in there, and we're gonna put this into the mixer. We're gonna turn it on low, and we just want to get that kind of all mixed together until it looks like everything is evenly distributed. This is the base, and this is what we're gonna add our chunkier ingredients to. So we need this to kind of be established before we go any farther. And it doesn't take long. Like that's about the gist of it. So the mixer makes quick work of this. But like I said, you can definitely do this by hand. Okay, so now that we have what is essentially a creamy, rich, well-seasoned pop of acid, pop of Tabasco base, we're ready to add in kind of our mixing kind of things. I have 3 green onions that are chopped. I chopped the whole green onion. I cut off the tip, but like use the whole green onion so you get the white part and the green part. So you add that in. And then there are 2 additional kinds of cheese that really are important and take the flavor of this to the next level. This is shredded Gruyere, which is a highly meltable kind of Swiss type cheese. And this is grated Fontina. Grated Fontina Fontina cheese is usually the one with the red wax around it. It's got a strong flavor, but not in an offensive way. It just really packs a lot of flavor punch. Before I toss these in, I'm going to save a little bit of each to sprinkle on the top for melting. So I've taken like a generous pinch of each one to set aside. And now I am gonna add the Gruyere, the Fontina. So that makes a total of 3 different cheeses that we've got in there. And then last but not least, let's talk about artichokes. In no universe should you cook your own artichoke hearts. Like, unless you are just dying for something to do, buy canned or even frozen artichoke hearts. The nice thing about canned artichoke hearts is they're packed in water. You can also get them packed in oil, but I think that would be too much in this situation. Like, that would be too rich. These literally are just like quartered artichoke hearts that are ready to go. Like, this is such a lifesaver. Make sure you look for the ones that are quartered. If you accidentally get home and you bought the whole ones, just take a knife and chop them up. I have already drained these. They usually have water in them, but I've drained the water out. So what we're gonna do is just add 2 cans of quartered, drained artichoke hearts. Let me show you what that looks like. I mean, they look just like this. Like, it's the best part of the artichoke. They're already trimmed. They're already ready to go. We don't need to chop them. This is what makes this so dang easy. Okay, so we've added all that. We're gonna give this a big stir just to kind of coat the artichoke hearts in the creamy base that we created, and to evenly distribute the green onions, the other 2 cheeses. It's just, this is where it gets good. Make sure you go down all the way to the bottom of the bowl and bring up any mixture down there. Oh, it smells so good. Okay, and this is essentially it. This is done. You're going to bake this in either, you know, like a nice 8-inch square style baking dish or something equivalent. You can cook this in a cast iron skillet. It's really great. I'm gonna grab, I have another size I wanted to show you. Like, you can choose something smaller that's deeper. It'll work. You could choose something larger. It's gonna be thinner. Just something that you can bake it in. This is kind of the standard that I'm gonna go for. If you choose something bigger, it'll cook faster. If you choose something smaller, it'll take a few extra minutes. You can't mess this up. You're basically gonna cook it till it's hot and bubbly and delicious. So choose the vessel of your liking. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna scrape all of this mixture into our dish, whichever dish we have chosen. And then to really set it over the edge, we are gonna make a crunchy topping using panko and that extra cheese that I saved when we were mixing. Let me show you panko. Panko is a Japanese style breadcrumb, and they are very, very crisp and crunchy, more so than typical breadcrumbs. Let me let you look at the texture. They're just like little, well, little flecks. Like, I don't know, they're like shards of crunchy goodness waiting to make whatever you put them on super crunchy. And this recipe calls for half a cup plus the extra cheese. So what I'm gonna do is sprinkle the top of this with half a cup of the panko, like that. And then that extra cheese that I saved, I'm just gonna sprinkle it on top. If for some reason you forget to save the extra cheese, you would be fine. It's not a big deal. But this just gives it a nice golden, cheesy, crunchy crust, that creamy, flavorful artichoke base. This will go in a 350-degree oven, 20-ish minutes, depending on the size of your pan. And I have to tell you, this is not bland. This is not just cream cheese and artichokes. Like, every ingredient really contributes to this overall like flavor powerhouse. So this is like far and away the best artichoke dip you're gonna find. I hope you make it. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it serves you well throughout football season, the holidays, whatever you choose to serve it at. Enjoy artichoke dip.